Well, good morning, y'all. Welcome into the Rooted in Progress Stream Center. It's another Thursday with your favorite hosts, Deanne King and Terrence Middlebrooks. How you doing today, Terrence?
I'm doing fantastic, Deanne. How are you this morning?
I am good. It's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
One of my favorite people in Tampa Bay is here.
Me? I'm always here every day.
Well, not quite.
Not quite your favorite or not quite here every day?
Kidding.
Or
We
not quite
have
here every day?
St. Petersburg Police Chief Anthony Holloway in the building. How
Chief
you doing,
Holloway.
Chief?
Good morning. I'm doing well. And how about you two?
Good. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here this morning.
Welcome back.
Yes,
That's what
welcome
we should
back.
say.
It's not too early in the morning for you, is it, Chief?
No.
It's time for lunch, I think.
It really
I
is.
remember last time you were here. Last time you were here, you talked about how early you got up and how early you got your day going. So, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting
Well,
me.
we are honored to have you. I mean, unfortunately, we're talking about these teen
Yeah.
takeovers. I think when I first heard about this teen takeover, I'm just like, well, what are these kids coming up with now?
Right.
It's always something new.
Right.
And unfortunately, I what I really hated seeing were the crowds of young people, and they looked like us. And that was something that kind of hit a little bit different for me. When and how did you learn about teen takeovers?
Well, we found about a month and a half ago. And just like you, I started seeing it on television because, we all get together. We all have a good time.
Yeah.
But it only takes two of us.
Or one.
Or one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's what starts. Because then that's what starts getting and I'm learning, the clicks.
Yeah. For things to go viral.
Yeah, everybody wants those clicks. So then, hey, instead of to get together having a good time, now is let's have a get together and let's see how many clicks we can get out of this get together. So that's where we started seeing it going viral.
When it comes down to organize these events, I mean, how many times have we've all grown up in where there's been, a bunch of teens or friends get together. When do you guys realize that this has started to be a problem?
When you're starting to see more law enforcement having to respond to the scene, we're seeing property damage, we're seeing people that are not even going to get involved in getting hurt. So then it becomes a law enforcement issue. Law enforcement is not here to stop kids from hanging out, having a good time.
Right.
We're here to stop you when you start people getting hurt, when property damage happens, when you block traffic. Now you're asking for law enforcement to come to your party. You just invited us to your party.
Yeah. And I don't think they originally wanted y'all there
Exactly.
to begin with. When we talk about the history, for folks who are tuning in live right now, we've actually seen these teen takeovers across the country. But throughout Tampa Bay, we have the Tampa Teen Takeover, May 8th. 22 people were arrested between 12 and 21. And then I looked at the time frame, and I'm like, where was your child? Where did you think your 12-year-old child was on this Friday night at 10 p.m.?
Yeah.
Then you had the Clearwater teen takeover. That was May 31st. Unfortunately, a 17-year-old was shot, non-life-threatening injuries, thank God. A 16-year-old ended up being arrested and had to be turned in by his mom and grandmother. And I could only imagine how they felt. And then in Wesley Chapel, there were a few teen takeovers that were supposed to happen. Pasco County Sheriff's deputies, they got word about it. They were able to prevent it. What is St. Pete Police? What have y'all experienced so far when it comes to these teen takeovers?
So we've seen possibly 3 that were going to occur in St. Petersburg. We saw it on social media. So we went out, we made contact with the person that posted the things, and we let them know, you can't do this. You can't have a special event in our city. And the other thing, we put law enforcement in the area, and we didn't see that happen. What I can tell you, because I've spoken to all the chiefs and the sheriffs in the Tampa Bay area, it's not going to happen. So the people we're out there, it's not going to happen. What we're telling you is we don't mind kids getting together, having a good time, but you're not going to take over anything in this Tampa Bay area.
What is the proper way if a team wants to organize something? What's the proper way they can go about doing it?
Well, if they want to have it in the street or in the city, then they got to pull a special permit. And then their parents are going to be responsible for that because you got to pay for the law enforcement. You got to pay for the fire people. You got to pay for someone to clean up the mess afterwards. So if you want to have a special event, you got to pull a permit. Or if the parents want to have something at the home, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Or the kids just want to get together and have a good time. Again, there's nothing wrong. But you're not going to take over anything.
Yeah. It blows my mind. Like Deanne just said, you have a 12-year-old, 12, 13, 14-year-olds out at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Where are the responsibilities? The parents How do you not know where your kid is at this time of night?
And
why aren't they not at home?
And I'm glad you said it, because I see that sometimes. I see parents drop their kids off, and even also tell me 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, a 12-year-old's out.
Wow, that's crazy.
2 o'clock in the morning,
That's crazy.
I'm dating myself. I better be in the house.
Listen,
You know, before
17,
the street lights
18
come
years
on.
old.
18.
Yeah.
So it comes down to the parents.
Yeah.
When are the parents going to be parents? You're actually taking your child and dropping them off so law enforcement can be the babysitter.
yeah. Or these friends, or
Or a
these,
friend
or
can
these,
watch
the
these
child.
gatherings could be the babysitter.
Yeah.
The babysitter.
But I think you look at that spectrum. We were actually just looking at some video for folks who are joining us live right now of what took place in Tampa from ages 12 to 21. Why at 21 am I in a crowd of people with some 12-year-olds? Like, we should be beyond this. So what's your message to parents who are listening, caregivers, legal guardians who are listening? What's your message to them?
Well, first of all, the parents should be parents. They should know where their child is. For the 18 and older, you better be careful being out there with a 12 and 13-year-old. Because if we can find a charge, I will charge you, or we will charge you. Because it's called contributing to a minor. So if you want to bring that minor to a party and let them get drunk at your party, and you're an adult, be prepared. And like I said, law enforcement, we're not going to allow this.
Yeah.
So if you want to be that adult, be that adult.
Yeah.
But you see that 12-year-old, you better tell them to go home.
Yeah.
So just hearing a little bit about other takeovers in the news, that a lot of these law enforcement are holding the parents accountable. If your team get arrested, if your team gets caught with a gun or whatever, the parents are going to get, arrested as well. Is that the same for St. Pete, or where are you guys at with that?
We're looking at the same thing. How can we charge the parent if the child is breaking the law with a gun or something like that? Because the parents are responsible
Absolutely.
for their child. Also, parents don't realize that the law hasn't changed in 100 years.
Right.
If your child damaged something or caused some type of damage, you're responsible. So if your child goes out there and vandalizes something, your child can be arrested for vandalizing. I'll say vandalizing a car. Now that person who owns that car, they can turn around and sue that parent for that car being damaged.
Man.
So this can be very costly.
Wow. I'm looking at, and for folks who are joining us live on Facebook, good morning to y'all. Thanks for joining us. Drop your questions here. We have a question from John Lopez. How many teens or even adults are allowed to gather in public before we are required to get a permit? It's a good question, John.
Great question.
So it's 50 or more for a permit, because like a special event. But again, is what are those children doing? Okay. So I'm going to say 50 for a special permit, but if you got 20 or more doing, what are you doing? Are you disrupting a business? Are you disrupting traffic? The key word is, what are you disrupting? If you're just hanging out and let people walk by, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But,
so like if I got a family, I'm having a family reunion and it's 21 of us, right? And we're going to the beach, but we're just under our tent having a time, got a little bit of music going in and out of the water. We're good. We don't need a permit.
You don't need a permit, but I'm going to be mad at you because you didn't invite me to the party.
I'm going to invite you to the party, especially if we're in St. Pete. You know I'm going to. That's really good information, especially for people who are thinking about, it's the summer.
It is.
And we do have the family reunions. We do have those gatherings, right? But you want to make sure, like you said, Chief, what are you doing? What are all of y'all doing as a group together? I think a part of this conversation is also, what are the other options? I heard I'm bored. The kids are bored at home. They don't have anything to do at home. So now they're coming up with these wild things called like a teen takeover. What are some of the options, especially in the St. Pete area, that kids, some programs that they can get engaged in?
So we have a joke at our academy where everything starts at Parks and Recs. Mike Jeffrey, who's our Parks and director, we have tons of programs. The mayor has tons of programs. A couple of years ago, the mayor invested over $1 million into programs. So if your child wants to play some type of sports, but the parents can't pay the entry fee, we'll take care of that.
Wow.
Basketball, dancing, your child needs tutoring, we'll take care of that. So when you say you're bored, define bored to me. Because if you're looking for something to do, there is maybe not what you really want to do, but if you want to go out there and burn some energy, there are a lot of programs, and I can speak for St. Pete. There are a lot of programs available in St. Pete. Also, if you didn't know about it, we have what's called drug asset forfeiture money, or I should say forfeiture funds. So when we arrest someone and we seize their property, we turn that money around, and then we ask groups 501c3 is, what programs can you put together to prevent kids, and we will give that to you.
Wow.
A good example, last year we gave out over $170,000 back to the community.
Wow.
So when people say there's nothing to do,
There's something to do.
there's something to do.
And these nonprofit organizations, can you name some of them so that parents and folks can get in contact with these nonprofit organizations to be able to take part in some of these events?
Sure. So there, and I can go to my list.
I'm like, go to your list.
Let me flip it over because I don't want to get anyone upset here. So we got the St. Pete youth basketball. We have the St. Pete football. We have Young Influencer, where they talk to kids that have committed crime, but how to get them back on track.
Okay.
We've got our PAL, where kids can go to PAL and play, but we also, you used to call it Police Athletic League.
I remember PAL. I was a part of it.
Well, we still have that. So
Okay.
But we also now Police Academic also, because not everybody wants to play sports. So
That's true.
they got a great program with that. We have TASCO, Girl Scout, Boy Scouts, just all the things that you can think of that someone's out there trying to help a young child. That age you were talking about, that 8 to 17, there's stuff available for you.
What do you think it is, Chief? The reason why a lot of these kids don't take advantage of these programs, or a lot of the parents don't take advantage of these programs, is it transportation? You just mentioned it's not really cost because most of these programs are free. What is it? Like, what is it?
What's the barrier?
Yeah, what's the barrier that keeps parents from?
Well, I can't even say transportation because we do that. The city does that. It just maybe it's not cool enough.
It's not exciting. It's not cool enough.
It's just not. I don't want to just hang out at parks and recs. I want to hang out at the park. But you do hang out at the park, because after the parks and rec close, then you come out at 9:30 at night.
Right.
So it again is, how do we as a community, and it is a community issue, how do we as a community get more things, get more people involved in it? I want to give a shout out to our faith leaders. Yesterday I met with all our faith leaders yesterday, and we were having that same conversation. What do we do? How do we get these kids involved in something else?
Do they
I was going to say, what was their reaction?
Yeah.
What did they say?
And they're saying the same thing. They're like trying to figure it out also.
Okay.
Because like you said, they have these programs, but I want to go there.
They're not cool enough. You said it best. They're not. They're
But
not
how do we
exciting.
make them cooler?
I don't know. I remember growing up, man. That was a part of when I was in high school. We used to have lock-ins
Yeah,
at the
at the
recreation
church.
center. We had the church. It was at the rec center, but it was a full, overnight sleepover, and it was activities all throughout the night. And the thing was, you better not be the first one to go to sleep because you might get whatever. So those were fun. Those kept kids off the street. Is that still a thing?
There are still some of those things going on, but again, that excitement is that the excitement that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like lock-ins also might be, with the times,
Well,
things change.
Yeah,
So I feel like fewer organizations are probably
You
doing
probably got
lock-ins.
a full police force at this facility.
We have another question. Miss Mary Jo. Good morning, Miss Mary Jo. We were just talking about you. Is there transportation to these events? Many parents leave their children home while they work. You mentioned that you all offer transportation. What does that look like?
So some of the organizations that have these programs, they will work with the family members about getting transportation there. I was just talking to Miss Yolanda Fernandez, who's on our staff, but she also is on the board with CFY, and they were talking about giving kids transportation to the pools. And then they'll pay for that. So it's up to the parents to learn.
Yeah.
And I say put fault on fault. Maybe we at the police department partner with you and say, hey, here are a list of the programs. These are who you need to call to get your kids. Because a lot of parents don't know knowledge is king.
Right.
Maybe we need to put that knowledge out there because a lot of parents don't know about all these programs. Because what happens is only a small group knows it over here, and the kids in the middle, they don't know. So I guess the biggest part is how do we reach those kids in the middle?
Right, right.
good
And
luck.
those
That's
families.
tough. Yeah.
All right, we're still talking teen takeovers with St. Pete Police Chief Anthony Holloway when we come back from this quick break. Most recent. Hey, y'all, come on back into the Rooted in Progress Stream Center. We are live with St. Petersburg Police Chief, Mr. Anthony Holloway. We appreciate your time and your talent and your treasure, especially when we're talking about the betterment of our community and investing into the next generation. How does it make you feel knowing that these teen takeovers are actually happening within this community and across the country?
It really bothers me because, like we said earlier, 98% of the kids are doing the right thing. They're just hanging out, having a good time.
Just being kids.
Just being kids. If anybody said, well, they're lying.
Yeah.
You did it when you were growing
We
up.
all did it. Yeah, absolutely.
But like I said, that one, I'll say those 1%ers.
Yeah.
They can come and mess up anything. You know, we were talking about a family party. There's going to be somebody that's going to come to that family party and mess it up.
Mess something up.
So how do the kids get those people away from them? You want to act like a fool, go someplace else.
Yeah.
We're here to enjoy ourselves, to meet people. And again, I would say that's kids helping each other. And there is a group out there I heard that there are kids are just saying that, hey, we don't want this foolishness around us.
Yeah.
And then the parents doing the same thing.
Right.
I'm not a parent, but I just remember when I was going to, what's wrong with asking your daughter or your son, where are you going?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And some parents are afraid. Why? You're
have-
a parent. Do it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have, the Life 360. You could track your kid. You can see where they are. They
Have their
might be going to
location.
the beach. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I'm going to the beach tonight. Okay, or today. Excuse me. Okay, you think it's all safe and cool that they can go hang out at the beach. You check their location. They're there. But then you look at the news the next morning, or and you hear this. So it's almost to the point where now you don't want your kids going anywhere. At least I don't want my kids going nowhere. But
And I
you
think
can't shelter them, though.
The other half of this is the effects on the city and the businesses in
Right.
these areas that where they're taking place, or like you think of where the shooting took place,
Yeah,
right?
Clearwater.
And now I'm not going to if my plans were to go to Clearwater Beach the next day, I'm not going.
would
I'm
think
not
about-
going anymore.
Right.
And then that's also affecting local business owners. That's also affecting just our economy in general. Have you been able to speak to some of the business owners, and what have those conversations looked like? Because I'm sure they're kind of reserved too at this point.
Well, again, I'm very fortunate here in St. Pete. That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I spoke to the chief in Clearwater. I know some business owners in Clearwater, and you're right. People are not going.
No.
And the kids don't understand that.
Yeah.
You cause some type of damage, economic damage, and also then I'll think about the chief that's there. Now he's got to put more officers out there.
Yeah.
So now that's costing the taxpayers more money on that. So every time one of these happen, the police chief or sheriff, everybody's asking us, what are you going to do? And our answer is, we'll put more people out there, but that comes at a cost.
Chief, let's talk about
And then you
team.
scare people away.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking money.
Yes.
That's coming out of their pocket.
Well, and also I'm concerned. Considering. Excuse me. I want to know more so about how you guys are monitoring this. You said earlier on that you guys found it on social media. Do you have a task force that's constantly just, skimming through social medias, trying, once they hear about this, like what is your method on trying to attack this and attack it early?
So I'll give credit where credit is due. I can tell you all the law enforcement agencies in the Tampa Bay area, we're monitoring social media. And if I see, or if my people see something in Tampa, well, my intelligence officers are going to contact Tampa because they could have missed it. And vice versa. Tampa's probably going to tell us, hey, there's a teen takeover that's going to happen in St. Pete. What we're finding out, which is also helpful, is a lot of parents are letting us know. They're going, hey, look at this site.
Okay.
So I have to give parents where people say, so these kids don't realize you're posting on some type of
They don't
social
realize
media.
that, man. Yeah.
And I always say, thank you for inviting us to the party.
Yeah.
Because we're coming. You invited us and we're coming.
Yeah.
Social media is a huge thing. And I don't even think, like we said, we've all been there. We've all been kids before. And you're not thinking about the ramifications of how this will spill over to other people. And I think maybe like kids with social media, they're posting and they're thinking it's just like going to their friends without realizing how it's being dispersed and shared to other people who are not your friends. And you don't know what that looks like. Cause I was curious about that too, as far as what the intelligence looks like. Cause I can only imagine what y'all see on social media.
And you said it quite well, because they think, well, I'm only sending it to my network, my social group. Well, they don't realize that other group now seen it. And maybe you and I've got a riff. Oh, they haven't. You're inviting people that you don't even know to your party. And would you do that? I always ask people, would you, if you had a party at your house, would you just tell everybody to come over?
Yeah.
No.
Well, and even if you have even if you have a control invitation, there's always going to be that one person that's going to go live or post their whereabouts on social, and then it just spreads like wildfire. The next thing you know, you got an out of control situation to where it leads to this.
Yeah, I just think it comes down to if kids want to do it, the parents, hey, invite 20 or 30 kids over at your house and you can control it. You know what your child's doing in that small network. And then next week, have it at the next parent's home. It just got to be a communication, I think. And thank you for this forum. I really appreciate that. Is because kids don't understand that. They figure they post something on social media. They don't know how many times that thing is being shared. I would say you're sharing it with me. You're sharing it with law enforcement. So we're part of your social network.
And that's how they need to think. But I don't think they're thinking about that at 12 and 13 and 14 years old, unfortunately. But hopefully parents are getting that message across. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
No.
Okay.
And I think that's what when I was talking to the clergy members,
Yeah.
like,
how do we
jump in there?
Okay. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Rooted in Progress. We are continuing the conversation about these teen takeovers and eliminating them, especially from our communities. One of the things, I was doing some research about how other states and cities outside of the Tampa Bay area have been combating this and responding to it. And they've actually instituted curfews. A friend of mine who works up in Columbia actually said the city of Columbia, South Carolina, they now have a curfew in effect because of what's happened with these teen takeovers. Is that a part of the conversations that you're having with the law enforcement agencies?
And St. Peter was brought up to me, and no, we're not looking at that because then, and let me give you a justification for because people ask that. Now I'm tying up more law enforcement because if I round up 20 kids, I got to hold those 20 kids until I find their parents. Wow. So now I just turned into a daycare service. Because if the parents have already dropped the kids off, that tells me right away, if you drop your 12-year-old off at 10 o'clock at night, you already know they're out.
Yeah.
Now, in some cases, I got to try to find you now.
The parent.
The parent.
Okay.
I had a child, but now I got to find a parent.
Yeah.
And that could take 3 or 4 hours.
So what you're saying is instituting a curfew now means when your officers find 5, 16-year-olds who are out past said curfew, they now become a babysitting operation.
Yeah, because now I got to find a parent to put them with.
So, Chief, real quick, if St. Pete was to initiate this curfew, how can you separate those? Let's say you get a family in town, Deanne's family reunion, and she got family coming in from out of town that's not familiar with this rule, and they're just out walking the streets outside the hotel. Like, how do you implement that versus the kids that are actually residents of St. Pete?
And you hit it right there.
That's another problem,
That's
right?
another problem.
What if I'm getting off from work?
Yeah. I don't have a ride. I'm just walking home.
Now I want to pick you up and tell you got. So it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just how do you do that? Can it be managed? Anything can be managed, but it then how much resources and how much money do you want to put into this? Now, do you charge the parents? Because a lot of parents will say, well, I didn't know. And then I don't want to blame all the parents either because there are some parents that work evening shift or work night shift. So you expect, hey, you're going to leave your 16-year-old in charge of your 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, they're both going out.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I like what you said. Put a tracker on them. If they get, so if you're at work, you see them leave that house, where are you going?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, we know young people, they're not going to leave that house without their phone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. It was funny. I was at the hospital, and the nurse who was tending to my family member, she was like, do y'all mind? I need to hold on because I'm getting a lot of activity in my house, and I'm trying to make sure my kids ain't sneaking no boy in. I was like, oh my God. But it's so true, right? Like, that is one way.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm out here as your parent, making the money, doing the things to make sure I'm providing a good life for you. I need you to be on one accord. So having whether it's a camera monitor at home, whether it's having the Life 360 or having their location on their phones, that could be very advantageous to hopefully combat and make sure that you don't find your child in one of these videos.
I think like it comes down to the parents taking responsibility, the adults. What would you say? If I'm 18, why you can't with a 12-year-old?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you were to tell them to go home, guess what? After a while, that 12-year-old, if he or she knows they can't hang around with 18 and 19-year-old, they'll go home.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, real quick before we go, I know the city of Tampa had started, they did a program where they were offering these kids to a safe location, to hang out at a safe location, organized location. How was that? And has St. Pete kind of considered something like that?
We've been doing it for the past 3 or 4 years. We put basketball with a police officer, parks and rec. There's always things going on. But like you said earlier, that's not the cool place.
It's not the cool place. And plus, you're doing it during the day, Chief.
They're doing
Y'all
it
need to have
too.
these programs at 10:30 at night.
They got
They're doing it?
programs,
Okay, good.
on Friday night basketball and things like this. But again, that's not the cool place to be.
Cool places.
Where can these parents, especially those who are listening and tuning into Rooted in Progress, shout out to them, wanting to be better, wanting to get this information out, maybe even to their friends, coworkers, whatever. How can they find all of the programs that you talked about earlier? That one, let me add this. St. Pete been doing this. A lot of the cities and a lot of our areas have been offering these free programs. This isn't new or a response to teen takeovers, being that just came out like a month ago. But how can people access this information and find out some of these programs that they can take advantage of?
Well, I always learn something. So from you today, I'm learning that when I get back, and I know my staff are listening, we're going to take these programs that we've given money to and put it on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And that way people can know these are the groups and organizations that are out there. Mm-hmm. Parks and Rec, again, they run a great program. Someone can just go into a Park and Rec facility and ask them what programs they've got going on. Okay. There is a network out there. The city of St. Pete has a lot of people that they can contact. Maybe we should get it out to all the church groups so they can read it out as an announcement. So that's on us. I will say marketing. So when I get back, we're going to market this as best as we can so people will know where we need to go.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. You say y'all were just meeting about this. So I love to hear that even though you have had things in place, you're still always working on trying to be better and still working on how to get this message out to more people, right? So that way, hopefully, the excuse of I didn't know can go away.
Yes, and thank you. And like I said, and I know listening to Clearwater, when they're thinking, those individuals didn't come from the Tampa Bay area. They came from another county. So it started in another county. So, hey, let's meet up in Clearwater.
In Clearwater.
So hopefully people are listening to your broadcast. So I don't care where you're from. Don't bring that to the Tampa Bay area.
Hello?
You heard it.
Hello, no matter where you at.
Yeah.
Well, Chief Holloway, we truly appreciate you and all of the work that you do for this community as a whole, particularly even the city of St. Petersburg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you both.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us again.
Y'all heard it straight from the Chief. Don't bring that foolishness to Tampa Bay.
St. Pete ain't playing. They're not playing.
At all. And I really do hope that the parents listen to this, find a way to talk to your kids, and maybe some of the parents take this into your where you work. Let some of your coworkers, let some of your friends know what's going on, so that way you're just not the keeper and the holder of this information.
Yeah, and it's sad that these kids don't have a place to hang out, and they're doing what we did when we were kids. So unfortunately, like Chief said, it takes one or two bad apples to spoil the bunch. So
all right. Hey, Rooted in Progress, we are live every Thursday, y'all, at 9:30 in the morning. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We'll actually push out some of this information that y'all are getting ready to post on Facebook. We'll stay tuned on that. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. That's where you can catch all of our shows. We'll be back next Thursday celebrating 2
years.
2 years
anniversary
of Rooted in Progress,
Absolutely,
y'all.
man.
We'll see y'all next week. Stay rooted.
Stay rooted.